What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my bookish world. I'm Alex, and today I am going to be doing a recommendation slash books on my TBR API edition. So if you don't know what that means, it is currently Asian Pacific Islander month. And so I tried to make it more of a goal this month to read more authors that are Asian Pacific Islander. But obviously there are so many on my TBR, honestly more than I could count. So I have a lot on here, and then I realized that maybe I don't need this much, but yeah, I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna start with my recommendations, and then I'll go into the other books that are on my TBR. So first I have Meet Cute Diary by Emery Lee, which was a recent read for me, but this book features a half Japanese trans main character. I'll talk about it more in my wrap up, but I did really enjoy this. It moved very fast for me, but I really enjoyed it. Plus, it has a main character that uses neopronouns as the author does, so I think that's really cool. And then Pho Love Story. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm not, correct me, please. By Lone Lee, which I also just read recently. And it features Vietnamese main characters, and I believe the author as well is also Vietnamese. So I really enjoyed this. It was a little slow. I didn't connect with the characters as much as I wish I could. Again, I'll talk about this in my wrap up. But I still really enjoyed it, and it's Romeo and Juliet retelling, and I really think, people are going to love it. And then Aisha at Last by Uzma Jalaluddin. That might be a bad pronunciation. I'm sorry. But the author, I also read this month. A lot of these I read this month. Sorry. And then, so that's, features a Canadian Muslim author and different main characters that are also Muslim and Canadian. And they are of Indian descent, aka like the country, India. And their parents and their grandparents are immigrants. So yeah, that's cool. And I also really enjoyed this one. Again, I'll talk about it in my wrap up, but I think if you really like it, it's a Pride and Prejudice retelling, which is really cool. So if you like that, I would definitely recommend it. And then Stargazing by Jen Wang, which is what can I think of it? Is a graphic novel. And I don't remember for sure because I read this like in an hour, less than an hour, and it's been a while, but I believe it has Chinese main characters, but I could be completely wrong. But the author is of Taiwan descent. And she also has another one out called The Prince and the Dressmaker, which I've also read and I really enjoyed. I don't think I realized that they were by the same person, but I also really recommend that one. It features a character who loves to, the prince likes to wear dresses, and it's very cute. And then I have another book called Counting Down With You by Tashi Bowen. I have talked about this book a ton recently on my channel. It just came out May 4th, so please go grab your copy. It features fake dating, but the main character is Bangladeshi American, and I believe Tashi is Bangladeshi as well. So that's fun. And then the last one is one that I'm actually in the middle of, and that is A Thousand Beginnings and Endings. Beginnings and Endings. Sorry, that sounded weird to me. But this features a bunch of different short stories retold by different authors of API descent, and they are kind of telling stories from their culture that they grew up on, and retelling them in a way that fits their writing style. I always love reading short stories because it's such a great way to really get a feel for characters that you haven't read previously, or maybe that are on your TBR, and see if you like their writing style. So I really recommend this. So far, I have like 4 stories left, and it's just been a really good time. So now I'll get into Other Words From Home, or not Other Words From Home, that's one of the books. So now I'll get to the API books on my TBR. Obviously, since I have not read these books, I'm not going to give much of a description because I don't really know what they're about, but I did write down the author, obviously, and the representation. So yeah. So the first book is Other Words from Home by Jasmine Warga, which features a Syrian character, which I wasn't sure to put this on the API list because I was like, Syria is technically in the Middle East, but I'm counting it, especially with things that are kind of going on in the Middle East. I thought this would be a great book as well. And then I have Internment by Samira Ahmed. I believe the author is of Indian descent. And then, let's see. Then we have How It All Blew Up by Arvind Amari. This is a main character who, or the author I believe is Iranian, of Iranian descent, but the book features Iranian parents, gaming characters, and a Muslim family. And then we have These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, which is a 1920s Shanghai retelling of Romeo and Juliet. You should probably know about this, but there is a Chinese cast from what I do know. At least the main characters are. Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me by Tamaki Mariko, Japanese-Canadian author. Know My Name by Chanel Miller, which she is the victim of the Brock Turner, is that his name? Brock Turner case, Stanford case. I really want to read this. I just haven't because I'm not in the mindset for it, but she is Chinese American. We Are Not Free by Tracy Chi, also by a Japanese American author, and from what I know, it focuses on the Japanese internment camps from World War II, which I know nothing about, so I'm really excited to read this. Well, not excited, but interested to learn. Bailey, what are you chewing on? Come here. I swear, every time I look back, this dog is chewing on something. Bad girl. Forest of Souls by Lori M. Lee. I'm not really sure on the representation within this or the author, but I think it's an API author. Hey, no. Don't chew on that. And then I have You've Reached Sam by Dustin Thau, which doesn't come out until... Bailey, what did I just say? No. She keeps chewing on something and then going back to it. By Dustin Thau, which again does not come out towards the end of this year, I believe in November, but the author is Vietnamese American. Love Boat Taipei by Abigail Hing Wen. And from what I know, the author is of Philippine and Indonesian descent. Once Upon an Eid is by a whole bunch of different authors, but these are Muslim short stories. Islam short stories. We Hunt the Flame by Hassa Faisal, who is my last one. Not the only one on my TBR, just the last one I decided to include. Who is a Muslim author of Sri Lankan and Arab descent. So that's it for the books, not all the books on my TBR by API authors, but the ones that I had the courage to talk about. I'm sure, not the courage, that I put on my list. Obviously there are more, and I was really excited because I felt like I didn't have a lot of people on my list when I was getting ready to kind of look that up for the video in preparation. But I'm really excited to say that I do, and I'm really excited to get to more of them. So don't forget to support authors of color and queer authors and disabled authors, not just during their History Month, but during every month, because they're so important and they're awesome. So yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Follow my social media down below. That's Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads. And I will see you guys next time. Goodbye!